you're a professional?
Are you?
That's it, Clark. Show 'em who's boss.
Oh, we're all in this together.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the Clark Griswold YouTube channel. I am Mr. Clark Griswold. Happy to have you guys here. I just want to do a quick review video with you guys. So on our watch list or our setup list for May 4th, Wednesday, May 4th, I gave you guys a bunch of plays that were, if we triggered the day and we triggered the month, or if we triggered the day that we would trigger the month. So the daily trigger would put into force the monthly trigger. And if this happens, then that happens, okay? So I just want to go over those. What do I have here? 1, 2, 3. I think there were 5 plays that were very similar like that. So I just want to show you we're still trading during the day. We're only 2 hours into the day, but I wanted to show you how those worked out. So this chart that I've got here is a little bit different than what you guys normally see. I've got the daily setup on the left. I've got the monthly setup on the right, just so we can go through these and I can show you guys what I was seeing yesterday and what transcribed or what transcribed today. Okay, so with Palantir PLTR, this yellow line, I'm going to move this up. So what you see on the left happens on the right. Okay, so this yellow line, if you look on, if I'm moving this up and down, you can see the dotted line moving up and down. So that corresponds, whatever I'm touching on the left happens on the right. Whatever I'm touching on the right happens on the left. You can see me moving up and down. Okay, so this yellow line, looks like I got 2 of them there. I'll take this one out. This yellow line was our trigger to go short at 10:44. Okay, so we went through that. And I told you guys, if we triggered here, we would likely trigger the monthly. And sure enough, we triggered the daily, then we triggered the monthly, okay? Then we hit our first targets on the daily. If we go look at the monthly, our first targets are all the way down here. I'll just change the color on that. So that's our first target on the monthly, way down here. Now, can you stay in this play? You sure can. Is it going to reverse? It might. I don't know. But we've triggered the monthly. So probabilities tell us that we will hit this pivot point or this target on Palantir. Okay, so we are not at the bottom of a broadening formation. The broadening formation is somewhere down, you know, in this range here, this $8 range. Okay, but can you take profits? You bet you can. Okay, because this originally would have been a day trade for you guys if that's where you got in here. And you guys have hit your first targets and the second targets are not even there. Okay, so here's another thing that we can go over. So I know Sarah Strat Sniper says this all the time. She doesn't like going into plays that are higher highs or lower lows, or all-time lows or all-time highs, because things tend to reverse. So, in saying that, we triggered the daily, we triggered the monthly, we hit our target, we should be out of this play. Okay? I said the same thing on Oracle just a little while ago on Twitter. If we triggered, we're at the bottom of a broadening formation, so take your profits quickly and get out. So, we should have taken our targets here regardless, okay? If you wanted to take your target or take your profit at this target and make this your stop loss, that would have been great, and you would have been out of this trade already, as it has reversed since it hit there. Okay, so that was the first one, Palantir. The next one, I'm not sure if I went over this one. I did go over this one on the watch list. So again, we had our trigger here, we had our target here, we had our second target, and I said if we hit second targets, we are likely going to trigger the monthly. And again, that is exactly what happened. We hit our first target, we hit our second target, Then this blue line, we triggered our monthly, which is down here. Okay, so our monthly has been triggered. The monthly target is down here. So again, we're only, guys, we're only 4 days into this month. So if you swing this and you're getting a month and a half out with your expiry dates, you can run this. You can ride this down a little bit to see if we're going to hit our targets on this trade, okay? So we're sitting at that trigger line anyways for the month. If you took this as a day trade and you wanted to get out, hit first targets, hit second targets, you could have made your monthly trigger your stop loss. You could have made your second target the stop loss. You can make your first target the stop loss, really, if you're comfortable with that profit and losing the rest. That's okay, because this might continue to trend down. I don't know. I always tell you guys to take profits, so you should have taken something here anyways at this first target, and you should have taken something at this second target, this green line as well. Okay, and if you wanted to leave a few runners on till expiry and see where it goes, by all means, you can do that. Okay, so the next one we had was AFRM. AFRM, again, these are all the same thing. And I said if we triggered on the daily, we are likely going to trigger the monthly. Okay, and that's, again, we triggered the daily, then we triggered the monthly. Okay, and again, at this point, if we triggered the monthly, I'm probably taking a little bit of profit here. Okay, because a lot of times what happens when we trigger on a daily or a monthly or a weekly, we hit it and then we reverse back up and then we come back down. Okay, so if you're looking at this as a day trade perspective and you hit this monthly, this is a big gain here. It's over $1 gain or loss, however you want to look at it. But in options, that's a lot of money. So this would have been a really good area. If you're up 20, 30, 40%, I'm taking profit there. Okay, and if you want to leave some runners on till we hit this target here, by all means. Okay, so then we switch over to the month. This month had a 2 down and then an inside bar. Okay, so we were looking for the break of the inside bar. And again, based on that day trade over here, when we broke the trigger, we got in, okay? Or you could have gotten in on the monthly swing. Okay, and the target for the monthly, let me put it in here for you guys, is right here. And I believe AFRM is another one of those where we're at exhaustion risk. So that's another thing, guys, where we hit the targets on the monthly. Like I said, I'm probably taking profits because we're at that point where we're tagging the bottom of the broadening formations, okay? And we've already done it on the previous day. So I'm taking profits where I can take profits on these ones where we're close to exhaustion risk. There's 2 more here I'll go through real quick. Lululemon, again, and they're all the same. These are just multiple examples. We triggered on, I'll zoom in here. We triggered on the daily, and we didn't even trigger, so this was a gap. Okay, so we gapped down, came up and filled it, came back through. We triggered the daily, triggered the monthly, hit our targets on the daily, and again, we can look at this as exhaustion risk, or maybe Lululemon continues to trend downward as we can draw a broadening formation. Where do we go? We can go from here. Doesn't really matter. We can take a BF there, and we can go to there. Okay? Or if you want, you can take that one, and it works the same way, okay? So look, bottom, bottom, bottom. Okay, so chances are from this point on, we've tagged the bottom. Okay, and even if we didn't know what that was, but we knew what that was, okay, we tagged it anyways, exactly. So we triggered on the day, and we've triggered on the month, okay? So then if we're looking at targets for the monthly for LULU, you have to come all the way down to the bottom of this outside bar. And again, we're still early. You want to swing LULU. The premiums are high on Lululemon. I'll tell you that right now. But if you're in this trade, then good. But again, I would watch on this broadening formation here on this daily We've tagged the bottom, so that's something to watch, okay? The last one I want to go through with you guys is square. It was the last one out of the group that I pointed out to you guys yesterday. And again, we look at it, we trigger on the day, and our first target is just below the monthly trigger, okay? So we trigger on the day, we hit targets, we trigger the monthly, we're almost at second targets. You should have taken profit here already. Your stop loss again, and you can go down. Guys, you can take this daily and you can go down to the 15 if you want. Okay, and look, we had a double inside bar and we start reversing. You can put your stop losses anywhere on the tops of these candles that you guys want. If you think this is if you're getting stopped out here and it's going to trend down, well then put it up here. Put your stop loss up here. It doesn't really matter. You want to go to the 30? Go to the 30-minute chart, okay? Inside bar. So we had a 2 down inside bar, and now we're going 2 up. But we don't have full time frame continuity. All we have is this hourly that's green. Okay, so if you want to put your stop loss to the top of this candle and see if we come back down, go ahead. It's the putting your stop losses are really there's places you can put them, but it's also a personal thing. Like, how much do you want to risk? And where do you think price is going? Like, I guess we look at it. If you want to say the break of that inside bar, as soon as you break it, you're out. That's fine. You guys already have profit. You've already hit first targets, so it shouldn't really matter. You're not always going to be able to call the tops of plays, okay? And that's okay. And the quicker you realize that you're going to leave money on the table, the better trader you will become, okay? I promise you that. If you get out of a trade and you got 10, 20, 15, 30% profit, be happy with it and move on to the next trade. Did you miss out on another 30? You might have, but you could have also saved yourself from losing your 30% profit that you already made, okay? So that's all I have to say about that. That's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's just another thing to put into your tool belts. Little learning tool. If we trigger on the daily, a lot of times we'll trigger the daily, triggers the weekly, triggers the monthly, or a 30 will trigger the 60. However you want to look at it. But that's it, guys, and until the next one, bye-bye.